Yo, what is going on guys, it's Crimson. Today I'm bringing you guys some Infinite Warfare, and this time I'm actually bringing you guys a weapon comparison between the NV4 Follow and the KBAR-32 Bunker Buster. A little bit of a different video. Normally you don't really see me make weapon comparison videos or anything of the sort, but this time I decided to make one between the two best assault rifles, or at least some of the best assault rifles within all of Infinite Warfare, and some of the best nuclear variants. I do know that the Type 2 has recently been buffed, and that thing is basically a beast now. It's basically the new meta to use the Type 2, but today I decided to just cover the NV4 and the KBAR-32. You guys are basically going to be seeing some deatomizer strike gameplay of each of the weapons that I'm going to be covering within today's video, although the KBAR's deatomizer strike is actually going to be with the Eagle Buster and not the Bunker Buster, just because of the fact that I don't actually have the Bunker Buster, but I don't really think it's that big of a deal because the Eagle Buster is literally the same thing, just with a reskinned camo, obviously being a Christmas camo. So as I was saying, you guys are going to be seeing background gameplay of deatomizer strikes with each weapon, so I hope you guys do enjoy that. So on screen you guys are going to be seeing the statistics of each of these weapons, and as you can see, the NV4 has better accuracy by a long shot and definitely better range, whereas with the KBAR it has better damage, better fire rate, and better mobility. So I think the two big ones with the NV4 are obviously the accuracy and the range, and then with the KBAR it's of course the fire rate and the damage. I don't really think mobility is that big of a deal because I'm comparing an assault rifle to an assault rifle here. You already have a ton of mobility within this game anyway, so it's really not that noticeable. The fact that the KBAR has slightly more mobility isn't really that big of a deal. It's not as if I'm talking about an assault rifle and an LMG, whereas with an LMG you move much slower, so it's really not that big of a deal. So with the NV4, right off the bat, I would like to say that this weapon is overall probably the easiest weapon to use within all of Infinite Warfare when it comes to just basically picking up a weapon and not even, really knowing how to use it. It's not as if you really have to, master this weapon or anything like that, because it's a very, very easy weapon to use overall. Obviously, that proves because of the fact that it has such great accuracy and such great range, and as I was saying, it beats the KBAR's accuracy out by a long shot, I think by 20 plus points or something like that. And with the NV4 Fallout, I did notice that it has slightly more accuracy just because it has a stability which basically reduces recoil, which also stacks with grip. So right off the bat, I don't really think you even need grip, but with grip it makes it so that it has even less recoil. So this weapon already is basically a laser beam compared to the KBAR. So that's one big difference between the NV4 and the KBAR. Now the other is the range. The NV4 has much more range, and that has a lot to do obviously with the accuracy, just because at a distance it's a lot easier to kill someone just because you're not really dealing with much recoil, whereas with the KBAR you are. So that's one big thing that I really like about the NV4 over the KBAR, is the fact that it's basically the overall easier weapon to use. Now something that I want to mention that isn't really within the statistics of each weapon is the fact that the NV4 overall does have slightly faster reload without dexterity compared to the KBAR's reload without dexterity, even though occasionally I will actually use the KBAR without dexterity, even though it does have a slightly slow reload is what I meant to say there. Sorry for sort of butchering that sentence, but even though it does have a slightly slower reload, I still like to use it, but it definitely is noticeable. So if you would like to sacrifice a couple of perks to run for attachments, then you may want to take dexterity off, and there is where you have an advantage with the NV4, just because overall it definitely does have a faster reload without dexterity. So that's that. But one thing that I really like about the KBAR is its damage. Its damage is absolutely insane, especially without a silencer. Usually I actually like to rock the KBAR without a silencer rather than with one, and that's just mainly due to the fact that it just absolutely melts without one. I mean, you see all of the pros use it and all of the competitive players use this weapon, and you guys can tell that it just absolutely destroys. And the difference is with the NV4 with the suppressor compared to the KBAR with the suppressor, I'd probably have to give it to the NV4, even though the KBAR does have higher damage. I just feel as if the KBAR with the suppressor feels sort of weird and just not as good as the NV4 does, whereas without the suppressors with both weapons, I think that the KBAR is absolutely dominant over the NV4 without a suppressor. Even though the NV4 is still pretty good without one, I think that the KBAR overall just takes the slight edge on that, or maybe even just a bigger edge rather than just a slight edge. And then it also comes down to the mobility, which is the last one, which, as I was saying, isn't really that big of a deal just because of the fact that these are both assault rifles, and you already have so much mobility in this game that it's really not very noticeable. Another thing is the iron sights. Both weapons have pretty solid iron sights. I would probably have to say that more people prefer the NV4's iron sights over the KBAR's iron sights. I usually see people using an ELO on the KBAR, whereas with the NV4 most people, sometimes tend to use one, sometimes they don't. The NV4 is good with both, whereas with the KBAR, I think a lot of people don't really like the KBAR's iron sights, especially if you're a competitive player. You're probably going to be using this weapon with ELO, especially when you're playing in a UMG match or something of the sort. But in competitive, in pubs, personally, I actually really like the KBAR's iron sights overall, so I think those are pretty good, but that's basically overall what I wanted to talk about between these two weapons. There are a lot of really good things on the KBAR that are better than the NV4, and then a lot of things that are really good on the NV4 that are better over the KBAR, such as I was saying, the accuracy and the range, whereas with the KBAR, it's all about, you know, the damage and the mobility and things of the sort like that. So let me know which one you guys like more, which one you guys think is better. Personally, I think both are really solid overall. I would probably have to give the slight edge to the KBAR when it comes to just both naked weapons. Say if you're not to use an attachment on either one, you'd probably have to give the slight advantage to the KBAR just because of how powerful it really is. But then again, the NV4 has such good range and such good accuracy, and it's so easy to use that it can still definitely compete with the KBAR overall. So let me know which one you guys like more. Personally, I really like both. Sometimes I feel like using the KBAR, other days I feel like using the NV4, and that's basically going to do it for the video. So let me know if you guys would like to see more weapon comparisons down in the comment section below. Personally, I think that they're pretty entertaining. Next time I'll probably do a live comm on this. Just this time I wasn't really able to, but I thought that this was sort of a different and unique video and entertaining overall. So once again, let me know if you guys would like to see more, and that's basically going to do it. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, be sure to leave a like, and I am out. Peace.